Hello everyone, this reading is for Thursday, February 19th. Our daily affirmation is, today I move forward with confidence and ease. For today's reading, we'll be using Wisdom of the House of Night Oracle, but first I wanted to share with you a message from my guides. They had a long message, but I only remembered part of it, and they said, it's important to remember that while you're happy, others may not be. And I think that they're just trying to ask us to be more empathetic and compassionate toward others. And it doesn't mean that you shouldn't be happy and that you shouldn't celebrate the wonderful things that happen to you in life, because you should. I think they just don't want us to go overboard with it. So while you may be celebrating the birth of a child, for example, someone else might have just lost theirs, or they might be struggling to get pregnant. And while you may have just landed a wonderful job, someone else might have just lost theirs. And if you're doing well financially, there might be someone else who may not know where their next meal is coming from. So while it is great to celebrate our happiness and successes in life, just be a little more understanding that there are people who are going through a difficult time. So celebrate and be happy, but try not to rub it in. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started with the reading. Let's take a look at our first card. Moon. And this card is very similar to the Moon card from the Tarot, and it is all about confusion. So we may be struggling to make a decision right now in our lives because we cannot see things clearly. And at the same time, if you think you know what's going on in a situation, this card indicates that you may not. Everything is not necessarily as it appears to be. So this is not necessarily a time when you want to rush into making any decisions. You definitely want to take your time and make sure that you have all of the information and really think things out carefully before deciding on a course of action. And our next card is self-worth. So I think for some of you watching, what you're confused about or what you're not seeing clearly is your true worth. And I think that some of you may be too critical of yourselves. You may think that you're not attractive enough, or you're not smart enough, or that you're lacking in some way. But in reality, you're perfect. There's nothing about you that needs fixing or changing. You're more beautiful and talented and capable than you think. So this is the time to really re-examine the way that we see ourselves. Men also suffer from issues related to self-esteem, but women especially really go through it. We can be our own worst enemies, and we're typically very critical of our bodies. And we hate even the smallest perceived flaws that we have, especially when we compare ourselves to others, like celebrities. But many people forget that celebrities often have operations on their bodies, and their images are also photoshopped, or they're just digitally enhanced to make them look perfect. So never compare yourself to anyone. That is the absolute worst thing that you can do. Embrace your uniqueness. We're different for a reason, so it's important to remember that. And if you notice the girl in this image, she has a heart-shaped top, and there's also a heart on her shoulder. So this is all about loving yourself and all of your perceived flaws. So embrace your cellulite, embrace your thick thighs, embrace your stretch marks, your wrinkles, your gray hairs, whatever it is that you think makes you unattractive. But remember, the Moon card is telling you that you're not seeing yourself clearly. It is time to see yourself through the eyes of God and know that you're perfect, you're powerful, and you're beautiful just the way that you are. So there's nothing to fix, there's nothing to change, except maybe these limiting beliefs that you have about yourself. And our next card is the High Priestess of Fire. And this card is all about confidence, so it goes well with the reading for today. Self-esteem issues tend to spill over into every area of our lives. So, for example, you may not apply for a certain job or promotion because you don't think you're capable enough or smart enough to do the job. So you might not value yourself as a person. So in relationships, you overcompensate for your perceived flaws by never saying no and bending over backwards to please people, even if it inconveniences you, because you don't want them to break up with you or you don't want to lose them as a friend. But you have to understand that you don't have to earn love. You have a lot to offer. And I feel that you'll be so empowered and so confident that it will change you as a person when you begin to first work on these self-image issues that you have. So I would suggest that you start with your solar plexus chakra because it governs how we feel about ourselves. It's also about our fears and any self-imposed limitations that we have. So I also suggest that you do affirmations. That'll help you to have a more positive opinion about yourself. People are generally more attracted to others who are confident. And if you think about people who are regarded as sexy, it's not always their looks that make them attractive. It's also their personality. So just watch how differently people treat you when you're displaying more confidence. This card is basically saying that you have no idea how powerful or how beautiful you really are. But when you do realize who you truly are, there's going to be no stopping you. So I hope you all enjoyed this reading. I love you all, and I'll see you tomorrow.